Hey guys, if you don't mind, go ahead and like and share my video. Need some help. Need some help. I've been working on these videos for a while now for you guys, and I don't know. I don't understand it. What am I doing wrong? So, if you don't mind, go ahead and subscribe. Go ahead and share the video. Kind of desperate at this point, fellers. We got rust, and more rust. How much rust you want? We got lots of rust down here. I got lots of repair I gotta do. Might as well just keep on cutting the roof on up. I intend on reusing this roof, but I don't know now. Cause I'll have to make a big old section. It'd be better to make the section where it comes down and then turns 90 degrees out and then spot welds to the drip rail. I just got done making a new drip rail piece, as you can see. Right here we can see it maybe. I made it just like the one that come off. It's got the little, come on now, zoom out. Anyway, it's got the ledge on the bottom that the drip rail moldings snap onto, and it rolls over on the top side too. Just like a factory drip rail would do. I wish you could see it. She's a little crude. She needs a little filing, a little sanding, but this is just roughed in. But it's a drip rail. Anyway. Once I get the bottom fixed, this will go in there. So it'll weld right back in there like that. And of course it'll get spot welded in there. It'll go just like that. So I got that panel made. Now I just gotta go in here and cut this portion out and rebox this in. Some car's rough, boys. Then I'll have to come in here and clean all this up. I gotta fix a little spot right here. I have to clean all this up and treat it. Maybe it'll last a little longer for the next guy. Who knows? Well, I got it cut out for the most part. I gotta do a little cleaning up right here. I gotta get this lip right here off. And then I gotta go in here and try to clean this best I can. This old car is like a lost cause. But I'm gonna get it. My inner wheel tubs finally came. So I went ahead and put them together and mocked them up. I've got them into place. I know they're where they used to be because they're butted up against the upper structure. I still got to repair the bottom of this. Now that I got my wheel tubs, I can. I need to mop my quarters up first to make sure that they ain't got to go up or down or something. Came in a little dent in it. But fits pretty good so far. I kind of did a crappy job patching this, but this stuff right here, my welder did not like welding it. So at least it's not a big hole anymore. I made that drip rail from here all the way down to here. That's the way the factory was, hanging out at the end. And it's only a single piece of metal right here. From here forward, it's doubled over this way. And it has the little notch that hangs in. That slit right there. It's because I didn't like the way the drip rail looks, so I could have slid in it. Bring it out some. I will weld it back up solid. Weld it back up solid and grind it down. I'm thinking I'm going to cut this roof skin all the way up to, see that rotten spot right there? I think I'm going to cut it all the way up into here and just replace it from here down. And when I replace it, it'll roll down this way, and then it'll have a lip that'll get plug welded to the drip rail. Be like factory, and I don't have to worry about no bubbles coming back through. I think I'm going to put a vinyl top on this car because the top ain't the best in the world anyway. It's got eyebrows in it. It's got pits in it. And it was a vinyl top car to begin with. So I think I'm going to go that route. I'm going to slick it up best I can. Kind of a little bit. Just good enough for a vinyl top. And then we're going to paint the bottom half of this car. But we're not going to paint it show car quality. We're just going to make it try to look like it's been sitting in a barn for 40 years or 50 years. I want it to look like this. It's green. But I want it to be sunburnt, baked. I want it to be rubbed through in places. I kind of want it to look like this, thin, all over. Thin or red oxide all over. So the door's already red oxide, so all I gotta do is just hand sand it, blow some paint on it, and then start water sanding through it everywhere. It's got dents in it, but I ain't worried about dents. I said we're not building a show car. We're building a rat rod. Alright, boys. This AMD stuff is the biggest hunk of garbage. AMD is garbage compared to Dynacorn. This stuff is wavy as a freaking washboard. This whole entire panel, even though it's new, is going to have to be wiped solid with body filler. It's terrible. Look at that crap. Hell, even the lines is freaking, the freaking body lines on the top. Oh, what freaking junk. They can't even get freaking simple body lines right, straight. It's just thrown up there, the gaps aren't right. I just throw it up there to see if it even tried to fit, and it does. But it looks like crap. Freaking AMD's junk. Alright. So I put the whole back of the car together, set the trunk lid on it, and monkeyed around, got my gaps under my trunk lid pretty good. What's up, Millie? She don't ever come down here. Oh, shop cat. What are you doing, Millie? You're lost, ain't you? What are you doing? I got you some treats up there at the house. Want your treats? Be careful, don't get getting in that poor 15. What are you doing down here, little buddy? Oh, Callie. Or Millie, I mean. I had a cat look just like her. Name was Callie. We had her for like 14 years. And these new neighbors moved in, and the Great Pyrenees dog come over here and just killed my cat like it wasn't nothing. Neighbor didn't even care. Didn't even care that it was a family member. His dogs that he cared nothing about killed. She's pretty good. Okay, she looked just like her, but she's not as good as a cat as the other one. She has her faults. You put her in a house and she won't use a litter box. She will, but she was raised in the house, but then she started peeing on stuff, so she's an outside cat now, and she likes being outside. She'd always run outside every time we'd open the door, so we just started letting her stay outside. But anyway, back to this thing. So, got everything fitted good. I ended up having to raise my wheel tub up on the back was good, but I had to raise the front side up just a little bit because it didn't line up down here at the bottom all that well. So, raised it up and got it lined up pretty good. You better watch what you're doing. You step in that poor 15 right there and you've had a bad day. Come on, honey. I'll take you to the house in a minute. It's like she's trying to tell me something. But, I got my wheel tub spot welded, or anyway, it's welded all the way around. Welded back to this structure. And I went around with a wire brush and cleaned all this up. Pour 15'd it. Of course, I patched the bottom of these up all the way around. And this right here was, can't really see it. All this is pitted. It ain't rusted through, but it's pitted. Anyway, that little section right there, I know it looks rough. That poor 15 makes it look worse than what it is. But anyway, that's a little hole that holds the little piece that holds your headliner in place. So I had to put that, I had to weld that back in there, that piece back in there, put a hole in it. Well, it looks pretty good. It's all going to get covered up anyway, but I thought I cleaned up and pour 15 it, and maybe it'll last for the next guy. Especially them rockers. Them rockers, with the way the quarter panels just rest right against them rockers. I mean, that ain't a very good idea. Moisture getting trapped in there with no paint. So, but anyway, it's all, I did it on the inside and the out. It's on the inside too. Can't really see it, but I think this old car gonna be pretty nice when it's all said and done. I would love to have a roof skin, but man, by the time it gets shipped here, it's like $1,200 something bucks, and I don't know. I just can't justify that kind of money. So, got these things all put in. That was a pain in the hind end. And of course, figuring all that out, them corners, that was a pain in the butt. Whew, man, it's still got to be welded to this part. But it's getting there. Alright, it's next day. I think this is like day 5 or day 6 of me actually working on this car. Probably day, yeah, I think today's day 6 of actually working on all this. Not counting the day I cut the floor out. But it's the next day, you can see a little better, kind of halfway patched that. There's a patch there. It ain't pretty in here, I know. But it's functional. It's been treated. It looks a lot better than what it did. It's solid again. That's the mainest thing. First you come in here and grind us down or seam seal or Bondo it, but you're never going to see it, so what's it matter? So I went around, I put all my holes in my quarter panel. I equally spaced them apart all the way around. And I've got all the metal cleaned up. Well, so now it's going to be time to stick the panel back on for good. Stick it up there and weld it. Alright, well, it's starting to look like something. This end cap piece is bent and tweaked and twisted, but I got it to where it fits for the most part. It's off a little bit right here, but this thing's messed up, so I don't know if it's right or not. When you really need an end cap for your car, use the one that's been autographed by John Snyder. Put this one on. This one could stand to come up. I need to Dremel my hose so I can let the whole piece come up just a little bit. But it all fits pretty good. They got these things made too short. There's a little gap right there. A little gap right there. It's almost equal on both sides. Yeah, everything looks pretty good. I got a block of wood over there right now holding everything up. I'm getting ready to put these in. I'm going to try to mock them up, get them in place. So that'll kind of keep all my package tray and all the car where it's supposed to be. I've had a deck lid on it. I got good gaps all the way around. Got a good gap under here. The only thing I'm not happy with, I ain't welded bumps and quarters yet because I've got to go in here and I'm going to cut this and relieve it where I can pull this too. And then bring this forward and then fill the void with a little piece of sheet metal. So lines and stuff lines up. I just don't know, for whatever reason, like it just don't fit good. Fits good under here. Fits good around, all the way around. This side's the same way. See? Big old gap at the bottom. Line lines up. This is parallel. This is 90 degrees straight down. These quarters they're just junk. They're garbage. Ain't no way humanly possible to get this to stretch around and actually line up with that. I don't know. My dad thinks I should split this, but I don't know. I don't know if this line's supposed to be straight up and down, or is it supposed to be laid back. I don't know. Well, it's welded all the way around that. It's welded down there. It's welded in the door jamb. I got good gaps. I got to weld this still. I got to come in here and make a patch right here. I still got to weld this down through here. This section right here don't fit good. This is up higher than this. On the other side, I cut a relief in it and let this spring up. I don't know if I'm gonna do that side like that or not. This is a lot of work. This side I had to cut a slit in it. The lighting is poor. Anyway, I cut a slit in it, brought all this up, welded it all back together where it's kind of flush. All this is nice and smooth now. And yeah, it's looking like something. Alright, so we got this big hole right here. I need to be welding this. So I made this little panel out of the old quarter. I was hoping it'd be green like the roof, but the roof ain't green anymore. So I got it in recessed around this edge, and I got my lip for my drip rail. And in theory, this should go in there. It's got that little notch in it because my stupid butt put a tack weld right there. So I got to kind of go around that tack weld. In theory, it should go in there. I haven't tried it yet, but it should. Or not. Oh man, a little furry didn't work out so good. Don't look like. And looks like I might have cut it too short. Man, oh, maybe it will work. Wish roof skins weren't so expensive. This car definitely needs a roof skin. Well, that would work, but how am I gonna get that to push up? Well, let me figure out how I'm gonna get that to push up to that, and we'll come back to it. Well, I got my patch in. No, it's not pretty, but it's welded in. All these little jagged areas, that's just the edges of the weld. Once it's filled with the green glass, it'll be good to go. Of course, I got to clean all this up to bare metal first. But all this will get wire wheeled first, and then all these little voids will be filled with green glass. I could go in there and weld it up solid. What's the point of it? It's all going to be the same when it's all filled with green anyway. Even if I did fill it in weld, I still have to put some green glass over it. Well, I got a little more progress done. We got pretty good trunk gaps. Even all the way up. All the way around. This end cap don't fit the best in the world. It's a little bit tight right there. Needs a little massaging. It's got a good gap under here. Oh. All the way across. Oh. Had to weld those supports back to the top and the bottom. So the deck lid is hinged. Don't have a latch on it yet. From here down, I worked on getting the metal back shiny. I worked the old metals. This is red oxide primer. What used to be on the car. Look like from here up is rust. But right here in the middle is kind of still primer. But I body worked it a little bit. Still needs a whole lot of body work. I just got tired of looking at the seam. I gotta go in here and fix this spot now. I put some primer on it so you can see it. Rust hole. And it's got a bunch of little bitty pits. Kind of hard to see. But it's pitted. It ain't necessarily all the way through or anything, but it is pitted. Alright, well I've been test fitting stuff and realizing stuff don't fit. And I think stuff is bent. So I was checking my bumper gap. Without the brackets on the bumper, you can put the bumper up there and it'll pretty much line up good all the way down. But you put the brackets on it and it's got it shoved out too far here. This side over here looks like it might be factory. I think you just barely get your finger in here. So this right here looks factory to me. I don't know. Somebody that knows more about chargers, let me know, because I don't know. So the brackets looked bent when I bolted them on, but they're made in such a way you really can't tell much about it. But I bolted it on just for giggles. See this gap over here? This doesn't look right to me. And of course this ain't right. I'm going to split the quarter up here. And then bring this edge back to where it meets this. And fill in the void, weld the void up. Ain't nothing good about these corners. They're just garbage. But I think this bumper right here needs to come forward and roll this way. Just a tad bit. So I'm thinking I'm probably going to end up having to cut these bumper brackets. And just making the bumper fit where I want it to fit. Because this big old gap don't look good. I mean, it's pretty much got the same gap between the bottom and the top on both sides. But it's just too far away from the body. It needs to be tucked in more. To me. And these old lights, I picked these old lights up off Marketplace. They're no good. The trim won't stay on. It's loose. But I'm going to SOS pad them and put a couple screws on them here and there. And I'm going to run them because this ain't going to show car. It's a rat rod. They're just sitting in there. They're not bolted in or anything. They're not perfect. They're cracked here and there. But the back of the car is starting to look like something. I come to the conclusion yesterday that I cannot use this roof skin. So I gotta go back in here and I gotta cut it back loose. Drill all my welds. But that's the only part that I'm gonna have to redo is this area here. And I had done green glass this and cleaned all this up to bare metal under here. But the reason why is it's just, I don't trust welding up pinholes. And I could have made this look a lot better. I just quit grinding on it because I figured it was a lost cause. As I started cleaning it out in here before I sandblasted it in here, and I started finding all this. Hole, it's broke loose. I took a drill bit and started stabbing at it, and these are the holes that I found. So that's no bueno, that's not gonna work. So I got a new roof skin coming from AMD. And I got new drip rails coming from AMD because, oh, I got it in here, got to look. This car's going to end up being too nice for a rat rod, actually. If you look, you start to see some red color coming through here, here, and here. And I started picking at the red color, and guess what's under the red color? It's thin, it's rust. Therefore, these drip rails are no good. What it is there's an inner structure and then there's a drip rail and then crap settles between the two and then it rots out. So all the time I put in making that drip rail piece and making that little piece right here was just wasted time and effort. So it ended up being $1,305 shipped to my house for the roof skin and the drip rails. And then I found a discount code for AMD right now during March. The discount code is the word reckless, one word. So use that discount code during your checkout and you'll save yourself quite a bit of money because it went from $1,305 down to $1,100 and I think $35. So use that discount code. I've been griping about the AMD stuff the whole entire time. But AMD is pretty good about getting their stuff out to you. It's packaged up pretty good. They get it to you as fast as they can possibly get it to you. And, I mean, yeah, the stuff is warped up. But it ain't terrible. I mean, it is and it ain't. You can work with it. If you're a body man, you can make it work. The deck lid, it looks good just standing back looking at it, but it needs a lot of body work too. The only thing that really probably doesn't need any body work is that deck filler panel. It's nice. But I'm getting ready to weld along the bottoms, on the wheel wells, the bottom, and this door jamb, and then this thing's got to go outside. Clean everything out of it, blow it out good, and it's going outside until my roof skin comes. It'll probably be here next week.